from a fallout shelter somewhere under Seattle, Washington, it's the show you've been waiting for. Get ready to join your hosts, John and Kenric, as they talk comics, movies, and more. Now here's Spoiler Country!
All right. Welcome back to Spoiler Country. I'm Kenric, and that is Mr. Horsley. And today, we're a little late. We're a little behind the 8 ball. We didn't get this done when we should have, but it's our review of Captain Marvel.
That it is, of Captain Marvel and all the awesomeness that is Goose.
All the awesomeness. You know, Mr. Peacock says piles of awesomeness all the time.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good phrase. Piles of awesomeness. I like it.
Yeah, he says it quite a bit. So I saw it Friday.
You saw it before me, by a couple hours.
Yeah. I got off work early. I took off and said, I'm going to go see this movie. Because I wanted to beat the crowds. And I did. It was nice. There was like maybe 15 people in the theater when I saw it.
Oh, damn. That's awesome.
Yeah. But then when I got out of the theater, there was lines out the door for it.
Yeah, because we saw it at 8:30 because Friday was Jacob's 13th birthday.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go see Captain Marvel for his birthday. So like, all right, cool.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Nice.
So it was packed for us.
Yeah.
It was at 8:30 at night.
So let's get this portion out of the way, then we'll get into the weeds of it.
Yeah.
What was your reaction? What did you think of it?
I liked it. I had fun with it.
Yeah. You said you loved it on Twitter.
Well, I mean, I did. I don't know. I loved aspects of it.
Yeah.
You know, I loved some things. I was like, it's kind of hokey, but overall, I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. And my girl, I was sitting next to Tegan, and she's 8, and she couldn't stop, bouncing about how awesome it was. So
yeah. So my initial reaction was this. I was like, while I was watching it, I enjoyed myself. I was like, this is a fun movie. When I got out, I was like, if that was the first Marvel movie to come out, people wouldn't. I don't feel like people would be talking about it anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it was like, I don't know, comparing it to the rest of the Marvel universe, it felt like a C.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's just, it went really fast on things. They I don't know, man. I didn't think the writing was not up to snuff compared to other ones. And I don't know, man. Brie Larson, I love Brie Larson. Dude, like, I liked her in King Kong. I liked her in The Room. I've liked her in almost everything I've seen, but I didn't feel, I don't know, man. I didn't feel her in that role.
Really?
Yeah. It just seemed like she was kind of going through the motions.
Huh.
I don't know. And I didn't understand, why did they make more? So everybody knows, just spoilers abound in this.
Clearly, I mean, it's in our title of our show.
Yeah. But just, I feel like, so if you haven't seen it and you don't want any spoilers, you probably shouldn't listen to this until after you watch the movie, because we're just going to give stuff away. I'm not even going to
everything away.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother saying spoiler alert. There's your spoiler alert.
Yeah, this is a spoiler at the 3-minute mark in. If you're still listening, you don't want spoilers, you should probably just stop.
Yeah, I don't understand why they made Marvel a girl. I guess in the long terms of things, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But at the same time, it didn't move the story in any way. It had nothing to do with anything. So it's like, why change the character from the original writing?
It did, though, if you pay attention. The whole thing about Carol Danvers and Rambo was the fact that they were female pilots and couldn't fly combat. So Marvel, being a female, being a scientist researcher who was also a pilot, played right into the fact that she couldn't fly combat, so she was they were doing test pilot things instead.
Yeah, kind of boring, dude. Didn't care. And maybe it just didn't speak to me, and that's probably why.
There is a reason for it, there is a reason behind it, not just no reason.
No, I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know. It doesn't feel like, it feels like it was just like, just change it to change it. I don't think that it would make any difference than somebody just believing that these girls could do anything else that anybody else was doing. That it didn't have to be Annette Bening, even though I love Annette Bening.
Wait, back up a second. The girls doing, I mean, the girls thinking it would make sense. It makes sense if the girls were just fighter pilots, not test pilots.
No, I'm just saying that I didn't think it mattered that Marvel, being a woman, made a difference choosing them to be her test pilots. I don't know, man. I mean, that was my initial reaction. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I don't think Marvel being a woman made a difference for them choosing her. I just think it just played more to the fact that the whole their test they can't fight at that time. Women couldn't fly fighter pilots, whatever. But she was she was a research scientist. I mean, comes down to it, it wouldn't have mattered if she was a man or a woman to me. I mean, if it would have been a guy, it would have made sense.
Yeah,
I don't really give a shit. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. I guess at the end of the day, I probably don't. I don't know. I think I thought. See, part of the problem is this is part of the problem. So I got out of the movie and I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. But like I said, I felt like the writing wasn't as good as some of the other ones. Like, I don't think it was anywhere near the same stratosphere as like Black Panther or Infinity War or Spider-Man or the first Iron Man or,
Can we pause for just 1 second real quick? I want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
Do you know what Marvel movie has been like the two movies have been my most rewatchable and enjoyable movies?
Huh.
Spider-Man and Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Those two, I've watched both those movies over and over again, and I enjoy them every time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when I was watching it, I was like, I liked it, but I don't know, man. I guess I think the hype got me. Like, I was expecting more out of it.
Yeah.
And I think I wanted a deeper movie than what was given.
Well, here's some. I actually have. I've been thinking about this movie because I've been thinking about doing this recording with you since I saw the movie on Friday.
Yeah.
So I have like lots of deep thoughts in this movie, and I want to get into them. But
yeah.
I mean, just to back up a second, like the reason why I don't think Marvel being a girl or a man mattered. I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying. It was kind of like it kind of feels like it kind of comes across as they made her a woman to make her a woman.
It felt forced. That's all.
It did a little bit, but I don't think it matters because they changed so much of Marvel for the MCU that it's not even the same Marvel from the comics at all in any way, shape, or form. Besides the fact that it's a character named Marvel in their Kree,
Right. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, like the things that I complained about were stupid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, do I really care? Like, I didn't even read any comic books with Marvel, so why do I care if he was a dude or not?
Right.
And at the end of the day, and some of it too was I made the mistake of going onto YouTube and looking up reviews, and it was just a bunch of people saying how much they hate it. And the only thing I don't like is I've noticed like on Facebook, a lot of people complaining about the movie are like white men. And it wasn't white men that I saw. It was a plethora of people, not just one significant group, which kind of pisses me off because it's like you're just throwing people into this group. And because so now if you're a white guy, you can't even complain about the movie and if you didn't like something. You know what I mean? They just think it's this or that or whatever. And it's just like, well, that's not necessarily. There's a YouTuber in particular named Young Ripa. He's a very intelligent black guy that is very articulate. He hates the movie and he goes into it. And I watched it and I was like at first I think I got charmed by his charisma of explaining how he felt about it. You know what I mean? And then I started thinking more about it and it's like I was all ready on Friday to tell you all these things, and then I'm glad we waited because now that I had more time to think about it, it was like, well, why do I care? I didn't read those comic books. One, I didn't read those comic books. Two, I didn't know anybody who actually read about Marvel except for what they saw on the animation stuff.
Right. I growing up, nobody I knew gave two shits about Captain Marvel. I mean, for me growing up, the biggest thing was that's not the real Captain Marvel. Shazam at DC is the real Captain Marvel. This is a ripoff made by Marvel to steal the name. That's what it was for me growing up.
Oh yeah, well that I don't really care about because their name is frickin' Marvel. They should be able to have a character called Marvel. It's like whatever. If they took a character and named it Batman or something, I would be like, you got something there. But their name is Marvel for God's sake.
Well, yeah, but Captain Marvel was around 20, 30 years before Marvel was a thing. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But I mean, I started thinking about it more, and I was like, man, you know what? I really did enjoy it. I still feel the same way about the writing because that was my first shot, and I just wanted it to be more in depth. You know what I mean? Because I like the world that they created, and maybe in the next movie in Avengers, I'll be more into what Brie Larson's the way she's portraying her. That's just that was my initial reaction. It just felt a little flat.
Well, see, I think honestly, I came out of it, and what I was saying, I was thinking deep about this movie is I think some of the way this movie comes across is on purpose for the build up for Endgame, and here's why. Because if you think about it, in this movie, Captain Marvel or Carol Danvers is pretty much a god. She's unstoppable. Nothing really hurts her. Nothing really phases her.
Yeah.
Her only it's all about I mean, it kind of has the same overall tone as Captain America to some degree, right? You get knocked out, you get knocked down, you get back up and keep fighting, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the whole montage. I thought that was a great montage where it showed all the scenes of her when they showed her knocked down.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. That was really well done.
Dude, Tegan was bouncing at that scene about how she's getting up. That was pretty cool for me to see. But they did a great job with that, and I think part of what this movie is she's godlike, pretty much. She has she takes on a fleet of spaceships single-handedly in this movie. And I think what they're doing, and I really hope that I'm right in some degree, is they're making her godlike in this movie to make the sacrifice of Tony Stark or Captain America in Endgame that much more, because I feel like they're going to use her. She's not going to be able to do it in that movie, and it's going to be one of those two that have had this long run with the movies have to sacrifice himself for the end game to make it work out. And it's going to be built up because it's going to make their sacrifice be a bigger deal.
Yeah, it could be. Or it could be like their sacrifice means nothing because she is godlike and she should have just went and beat him up in the first place.
Yeah, that would piss me right the fuck off, honestly. And when I say that, and I hate that I feel like I have to clarify this, but I'm not saying like, oh no, I want one of the men to come to her rescue. But I think what it is she is kind of, even in the comic book, she's super, super powerful, and she always has been. Yeah, because of all the Kree and the power she has and shit like that.
Well, they've definitely overpowered her lately.
In the last 10 years.
I mean, she did die at the hands of Rogue. Let's be real. Yeah. And she was dead for a long time.
And that's why Rogue could fly.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. That's why Rogue has the power she has.
Yeah,
that's why she could fly and was super strong and didn't have to do anything while she wore her gloves, because she literally sucked all the power out of Captain. Well, it was Miss Marvel then.
Was it Miss Marvel? She wasn't binary yet, right?
I don't even know what that means.
So Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel, binary, Warbird, then Captain Marvel.
She that was a title. Monikers. Yeah, I think she was Miss Marvel when that happened.
Yeah, I think binary came later because that happened in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So binary was like late 80s, early 90s, and then she was Warbird for half a second, and then she came in the 2000s with Kelly Sue DeConnick. She became Captain Marvel, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's super overpowered. She's super OP now. She's like technically the strongest, most powerful character in the Marvel universe, or whatever.
Well, they've changed her background a little bit, because now, especially, I don't know how it is, because I don't know the Captain Marvel background specifically for quote unquote Captain Marvel. The moniker of that. I don't know that one. Yeah, but in the MCU, when they showed that she sucked up the power of the Tesseract. And so that's not what happened in the comic book for Miss Marvel. She literally, the explosion happened, she got mixed in with Marvel, and she took on his power set from just being a Kree warrior. It had nothing to do with the Tesseract.
I didn't think it was a it's a good point. Like I didn't connect that it was the Tesseract power. I mean, it was clearly the engine's power, and the engine was pulling the engine from the Tesseract.
Yeah, it's pulling the power from the Tesseract to power the engine.
The power she got was a combination of the whatever the Kree engine stuff did plus the Tesseract. So because that makes more sense now. Okay.
Yeah, and I really liked the whole concept of the Supreme Being, and then they're trying to trick her that we gave you the power, we could take it away, and it was like, nah, not really.
Nope, you can't do that.
And one of the things that I noticed it when I was watching people, they were complaining about the over the topness of playing "I'm Just a Girl" in the movie. Yeah. And I was like, that was one of my favorite parts.
Right.
When that song started and she started kicking everybody's ass, I was like, oh, that is cool.
Dude, I was talking with Robert from Bridging the Geekdom, and he was like, oh, I hate the music choice in this movie was just bad. I'm like, what do you mean? It set the tone of the time frame that the movie was in, the 90s.
Yep.
The same way Guardians of the Galaxy did it with their music, right? It sets the tone of what the movie is with the music. And it played into the scene. I mean, I thought the Just a Girl scene was great.
I thought it was
Nirvana
cool,
scene was great. I loved it.
I think it was fun. I mean, overall, I really, really enjoyed the movie. I think it could have been, this is weird to say, but I think it could have been like a half hour longer and had a little bit more time to, like, I don't know.
More power development.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, more power development, more time to get to know the characters a little bit more. What's his name? Jude Law's character. I didn't care for him at all. Like, I didn't have any feelings towards him, or the fact that he ends up being a bad guy. And I'm just like, there was no, I don't know. I didn't care.
Yeah. I didn't like his character from the get go. Like, the whole time I thought he was an arrogant asshole, and I wanted him to get his ass kicked.
Yeah. Well, you kind of knew that what it was going to be. I think maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was just, some of it was too predictable.
Yeah. What'd you think about the Skrulls being not bad guys?
That was weird. That was weird because you're so used to them always being the bad guys.
Right? And like, see, I'm not super familiar with Skrulls outside of like what we've talked about in a couple things that I've read. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've pretty much always been bad guys.
Yeah, I mean, they even have a slow burn where they've infiltrated Earth for many years.
Yeah.
And have taken over a lot of people. I mean, they had Captain America was a Skrull for a long time.
Well, and like it makes me wonder too, because if you remember from when they landed on the planet, there was 5 of them, right?
Uh-huh.
And you only ever saw 3 of them again after they landed.
Oh, interesting.
They broke off, and you saw the leader, the scientist, and the one guy who dies gets his chest cut open.
Yeah.
I believe there's I could be wrong, but I believe there's still 1 or 2 more that you don't see again after that scene on the beach.
But here's the deal too, though. The Skrull Empire in the MC, from what we've seen in the movie today, is they're scattered because the Kree are hunting them down. So one faction might be a lot different than somebody else. And obviously that guy just wanted to get his family and get away.
Yeah.
Which
would be cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm excited. It did make me very much excited to see Avengers Endgame.
It did. So one of my problems with, me too. Yeah. One of my problems with this movie, and like, again, before I say this, I did enjoy the movie overall, but I feel like, kind of like how I felt with BVS and Justice League a little bit, is it felt like a rush to a goal, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. They rushed to introduce her because her movie should have been like, I don't know, pre-Ragnarok in a lot of ways, and set up more.
Or at least her introduction. Like, she should have been a character. She should have shown up as a character either in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2, in Thor Ragnarok, in something else. She should have been introduced.
Yeah, because if you think about it, Nick Fury never mentions her for the last 15 or 12 years we've been having MCU movies.
Yeah.
There's been no mention. And then all of a sudden now, it's like all this stuff is happening with the Avengers. Thanos is coming and nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not until he's fading away. I mean,
yeah, it's just some of that kind of stuff. It just felt very, very much rushed. And
it feels shoot in, let's retcon her back into the story. And even then, they've known they were doing this movie for a couple years. They could have easily thrown a cameo appearance of her in costume in Ragnarok or in one of the other movies. Even in Infinity War, she could have been there. They should have had a scene with her somewhere.
Well, she could have shown up at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah. That mid-credit scene could have been in Infinity War.
Yeah, she could have been. They could have shown her coming back and even had a couple fight scenes fighting the Kree or fighting somebody that was holding her up to get to Earth, and she gets to Earth right after Nick Fury fades away.
Yeah. I mean, I really think there's a disservice for this movie for her not being introduced earlier, and I really think that if they really wanted us to buy this Skrull Kree battle for the first half of the movie, that the Skrulls are bad, we should have been introduced to a Skrull somewhere else before this.
Yeah. Well, they definitely should have shown a battle between the Skrull and the Kree, not this weird ambush thing that they did.
Yeah, I think the Skrull should have been in a previous movie, right? Like they should have had a Skrull in Ragnarok or a Skrull in. Show that alien race somewhere else, not just introduce them as this new thing to the MCU.
Yeah, it does feel. I think some of it is it's not meant to be part of phase. What phase are we in?
Phase 3, I think.
Phase 3, whatever. I don't think it's meant to be part of the phase that we're ending. They're introducing them now to set up for the next phase.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna make Endgame really good. I mean, Endgame. I'm excited to see how they use her in Endgame and how she interacts with like Captain America and stuff like that, because they're both clearly military raised and going to have.
Is she too overpowered?
Is she overpowered? She's super overpowered.
Yeah, but is she too overpowered?
Yes. For the MCU characters, yes. I think they're going to have Endgame. They're going to have to be careful with her.
Yeah, and
they're going to have to use
because they're going to have
to find some way to depower her a little bit.
If she beats up Thanos in 2 seconds, it's going to be like
Well, that's the thing though about Endgame is I've been arguing this. It's like I don't think Endgame is going to be about Thanos, right? Like,
well, it's going to be some things about
they're
Thanos.
going to reverse the snap, like those are 2 different battles, right? Like they're not going to fight Thanos and stop the snap. The snap's already happened. There's going to be time travel or mystery stuff like that. It's not necessarily going to be about them going to beat Thanos. It's about them reversing what he did.
Yeah.
So
maybe I like this movie more than a C. Maybe it's more like a B. You know, and
I think it's a solid B to me.
Yeah,
maybe a solid B movie.
Maybe it's just and not like a B movie, like a B movie, not like you know what I mean.
Right.
But we're talking like
It's
a letter
not-
grade,
yeah.
as in,
Yeah.
you know. And it's hard because when you think of all the Marvel movies, you're like, oh well, you know, most of them you really really enjoy.
Yeah, most of them are really most of them
What's
are
ones that
good.
you don't like? What's a Marvel movie that you're just like, meh? Thor 2?
I guess Thor 2 because I've only seen it once.
I
and
like
I don't remember much of it.
that one.
But I remember liking it. I think I've said before. I think I've said before on this show that I remember not liking it, but I haven't seen it in so long. I saw it once when it came out, and that's it. But for the most part, all of the MCU movies I've enjoyed. Even the original Hulk movie with Ed Norton, I like that one. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, Iron Man 3. I'm not super fond of that one. It's like to me that's the worst.
Iron Man
of the
2 and
movies.
Iron Man 3, I don't know. I fall asleep every time I try watching those two. So those ones that I like them, but I'm not a big fan. Iron Man 3, it was too long.
It's boring.
Yeah, it was
long.
boring. I think we've said this before. It was boring. You know
Age
which
of,
one
Age of Ultron.
You know,
Age of Ultron. I'm not a fan of that movie.
yeah, I like that one, but yeah, I get it. But you know the one I loved it when I first saw it, but like when I saw it the second time, I fell asleep, and I think that's like a thing. Is Doctor Strange?
Oh yeah,
I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, man. It's like I really liked it the first time, and then the second
I
time,
loved it the first time I watched it.
it's just like, oh man, I don't know. I just want to
It's
speed
slow.
up to the end.
I just want to watch. So yeah, I watched it again recently, actually.
Yeah.
And for that movie, I just want to watch like the scenes from like when he first gets to the palace.
Yeah.
And he's learning shit and fighting with and doing all the cool stuff there. And then I want to fast forward through all the bullshit with Mordru and all that kind of shit, whatever it is, and get to the final battle with Dormammu.
Yeah, you know, and I think what part of it too is I want Dormammu to be like a fully formed humanoid. I don't want this big ethereal
Right, I get what you're saying.
cloud thing in the sky like they did Galactus in
Galactus.
Yeah, in the Silver Surfer.
You don't want him to be a fart cloud. I know. I get
Yeah, it's just like, why are they doing that? That's not how
See,
he
I-
is in the comic book.
it. See, for this movie, for Doctor Strange, I liked that for this first movie.
It looked cool.
But I like it if they bring Dormammu back in a sequel as Dormammu trying to undo that first thing, right?
Yeah.
Undo that agreement, right? As a humanoid form or something like that. I like it if he comes back saying, you know, he's going to take a humanoid form to try and get back at Doctor Strange or unbreak the curse, whatever. I like it that way. But that last scene where he's doing the time loop thing is to me, I love that scene so much.
So you think Captain Marvel is the most overpowered being in the Marvel universe?
In the MCU, yeah.
Okay. Oh, in the movies.
Right, yeah.
She's in the movies, clearly.
They label her as the most powerful being right now in the Marvel Comics universe.
So what
too.
happens when they bring the mutants in?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But how cool would it be if like
Dark Phoenix versus
bring the X-Men
Captain versus Captain
Yeah.
Marvel? Oh my God, that'd be a fight for the ages.
Right. I mean, I would love to see the Rogue versus Captain Marvel battle where Rogue takes her out, you know. But they're already past that because she's not Miss Marvel and you know whatever.
Well, yeah, but they
you
could
know.
do it as Captain Marvel. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Although, did you catch? We're jumping around a lot, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Did you catch when at the end when the little girl Monica, I think was her name, was doing the costume changes colors,
Yeah.
and then it paused on the silver and green one.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
No.
So that character Monica Rambeau, whatever her
Yeah.
name is.
Yeah, I was wondering who she was.
She's like the second Captain Marvel in the comics. So in the 90s there was a black Captain Marvel female that wore that green and silver costume. Yeah. So there's been multiple characters. So
I knew there
Marvel
was a black Mrs. Marvel, but I didn't know there was a black Captain Marvel.
No, she wasn't Mrs. Marvel. She was Captain Marvel. There was never a black Mrs. Marvel's always been Carol Danvers. Except for Kamala Khan now.
No, I think you're wrong, dude. I think in the 80s there was a black Mrs. Marvel because she had a big fro.
No, that was Captain Marvel.
Oh, that was Captain Marvel, but that wasn't in the
that's-
90s. That was in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
Like 1982.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. As Captain Marvel in The Amazing Spider-Man numbers 16, October 1982. Why didn't they do that one?
Why didn't they do her?
Yeah. She's the original.
Oh, because Carol Danvers is popular in the comics right now. That's why.
Yeah, I guess. That's kind of weird.
but no, yeah, she's the original female Captain Marvel, but there was kind of like a shout out to her with the costume and the little girl. I think the girl has the same name as her too.
I wonder if they're going to have her become Captain Marvel at some point.
That'd be cool.
Because she's going to be quite a bit older now with Avengers.
Yeah. Right. I wonder too if they're going to bring in Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, since they've got Captain Marvel there. Because Kamala Khan's whole thing is she's obsessed with Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she's totally obsessed, right?
Yeah, she's a big fan, and she takes on Miss Marvel in honor of Captain Marvel. But in the universe,
Kamala
Miss
Khan.
Marvel was in the universe, Captain Marvel was never Miss Marvel, so it'd be interesting.
But it wasn't Kamala Khan. She's a mutant, though, right?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know much about her backstory, but I think she's a mutant.
That's the one thing that Marvel did right, I think, was having the mutants. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the way they sold them off like
it gives you the whole fucking origin story.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I didn't really care about with Captain Marvel was the origin story so much. I wish they would have done the origin story like in the first 5 minutes.
Right,
kind of like how they did
afterwards.
Yeah, just like they did in Spider-Verse. Okay, let's go through this. Here it is. Here it is. And I wish they could have kind of done that type of scenario and then get into a nice deep story. I think that was my problem. I wanted a richer story because this is the first movie with her in it to help tie it in more into the MCU. And I felt like they did such a rush job on it that you didn't get that. Even though as a standalone movie, it's hella fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, can I say the one thing that really, I want to say it pisses me off, but annoys me about this movie?
Please do.
How Nick Fury loses his eye. That is so.
Yeah, there's a lot of people complaining about that.
That's so dumb.
Laughed.
Like the dumbest thing.
I laughed when I first saw it
because it's stupid.
Because they played on it. You kept thinking, "Oh, this is when he's gonna lose his eye," but to just be the cat scratch, it was like,
it's like, come on.
Yeah.
It's a flirkin scratch, not a cat scratch. It's a flirkin scratch.
A flirkin.
That's what Goose is.
Was it a flirkin? Did I say it right? Okay.
That's why Nick Fury goes, "Mother flirkin."
Yeah. I know why, but I just couldn't remember if it was. I kept wanting to say Firkin.
No, in the comics, his name is Chewie, not Goose, by the way. Which is, I don't know why they changed it.
Really?
Yeah, so in the comics, he's named Chewie after Chewbacca, but for the movie, they changed it to Goose.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny. Ella has the Goose pops.
Oh, nice.
She loves it. I need to get her another one so she can keep it because she pulls it out of the box. She keeps the box nice. She puts it up on the shelf. She plays with it. She does all this little stuff, and then she gets the box back down. She carefully pulls out the plastic on the inside, puts the Goose back in and things. And she was, oh yeah, dude. She was like, you can get 2 LOL dolls, or you can just get Goose. She's like, I want Goose.
Nice.
She doesn't even know who it's from yet.
Still,
she just saw the pops at Barnes. I
liked it when Goose ate the Tesseract. That was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I thought it was funny.
Although I was thinking, like, after that movie, I've been trying to think about it. I'm like, wasn't the Tesseract not on Earth? Like, wasn't the Tesseract in Odin's lockup? Like, how was the Tesseract on Earth in the 90s?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like, I'm trying to think about it. I've got to be wrong here somehow, but, like, the Tesseract was there, and then it was in the Avengers. Okay,
wait,
so maybe it was there.
Did they? No, because the Tesseract was Captain America. That was what he first started in the 1940s.
Right, and the Tesseract sent Red Skull to that planet, and it stayed on Earth.
And that's probably when Marvel gets it after that.
Right. And then the Tesseract stays on Earth, and then Loki gets it in Avengers, and then it goes. Then when they capture Loki at the end of Avengers, they take it to Asgard.
Yeah. There's your timeline.
Because I was like, what? How was the Tesseract still there? But because it's in the 90s.
Yeah, it's the 90s. It's not like 2020.
Right.
Did you like the timeline?
I did. I thought it was cool. I do wish this movie came out earlier in the MCU, honestly. But
I think they kind of messed up with that.
Yeah, they waited too long.
They did wait way too long. Like but again, I think she must be set to be a major player in the next evolution of MCU.
Yeah, and I think this would have been a better Phase 2 movie, honestly. But I liked it, and I did think the special effects on Samuel L. Jackson for Nick Fury were fucking amazing.
Yeah, there's only a couple times where you're like, oh, I can tell. But
yeah, but the detail, the de-aging was amazing.
Yeah, especially on the close-up stuff. You're like, oh, wow. That's incredible. Even with Coulson.
Katie was like, how'd they make him look so young? I'm like, special effects, lots of money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, even Agent Coulson, though, he looked really good.
Yeah.
At first, he looked kind of weird. Like, I thought they just used makeup. But then when they showed him in the base, and he lets him go, I was like, holy shit, they did a good job on that.
It was good. It was good to see Coulson again on screen. It was nice.
Are you a big Clark Gregg fan?
Well, that's the first time he's been on in a movie since he died in the movie, in Avengers.
Avengers, was that 2?
Age of Ultron, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's been on screen since that movie.
See, you don't like Age of Ultron, but a lot happened in Age of Ultron that affected the rest of everything else.
No, see, it's not that I don't like Age of Ultron. There's parts of it I like. It just pisses me off that it is basically the same fucking movie as Avengers 1.
Yeah.
Just swap out fucking the Chitauri with robots. Swap out Loki with Ultron. It is the same fucking thing. They take out the big guy. They take out like.
But there's more implication. I mean, there's implications on both, but there's a lot of implications in there, and I guess it was a lot different than I don't understand why they made so many changes.
With Age of Ultron,
yeah, which we really should be talking about though, because we've talked about that before. I mean, it was Hank Pym that created Ultron. Why did they make it Tony Stark?
And then introduce Hank Pym in the next movie.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Tony Stark isn't even the smartest man in the Marvel universe.
No, he's like number 3 or 4.
He's not even the smartest man on Earth. Period.
Yeah, no, he's like 3 or 4 down, but
maybe even more.
Like, yeah, because he's behind Reed Richards, he's behind Peter Parker, and he's behind somebody else. I can't remember.
Yeah,
is it Franklin Richards? I don't know, but
he's definitely behind Bruce Banner.
Yeah. So what's funny too is like when Age of Ultron. This one last Age of Ultron thing. I'll stop. When Age of Ultron came out, there was a movie on Disney Channel called about Phineas and Ferb escaped to the second dimension or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It was a Phineas and Ferb movie that basically had the same damn plot about a robot, about some guy with robots, and they're coming into another dimension, and they take out the big thing, and they all fall down and die. Like, it was like the same thing at the end. I'm like, oh my god! And I saw Avengers: Age of Ultron. I was like, oh my god, it's the same thing.
That's hilarious.
It's the same thing as Avengers. It's the same thing, and it's the same thing as Suicide Squad. And it's the same thing as every movie that has countless minions that die when you take out the head leader. I'm like, just stop with this trope. Do something different. Okay, I'm done talking about Age of Ultron.
You're done ranting. So give me one thing in Captain Marvel that you would change to make it better.
That I would change?
Yep.
Besides moving it up and releasing it 3 years ago?
Yeah. In the movie itself. Not in the timeline, but the movie itself. What would you change that you feel would have made it better?
I would have invested some more time into explaining the Skrulls and the Kree war out. Honestly,
yeah.
Why are the Kree killing them? Why are the Skrulls running? Why are the Kree saying they're bad?
Why are the Kree saying they're bad? Because the Krees are assholes.
They are assholes.
I mean, it's like it was all a setup.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing about the movie?
I really enjoyed Goose the cat just because it made me laugh.
That was your favorite thing?
No. I didn't know my favorite. I just enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about the movie, that's tough. I enjoyed the special effects. I enjoyed seeing Captain Marvel go all out and take on the ships and stuff. Even though it's like, all right, you're a bit OP taking on a battle fleet by yourself with Ronan the Accuser here, but it's pretty cool. But I just think there's this whole stigma on this movie about being anti-man and pro-women and feministic and
I think some of the people have an issue that they feel like some people are trying to set up an agenda to push a message across.
Dude, I read an article today that literally said that this movie is anti-man because Nick Fury washes dishes.
Oh my god!
I
just
bullshit.
Yeah. To me, it's like, who cares?
Right. So I think my favorite thing about the movie is the fact that it has a similar underlining theme of Captain America, but done in a way that reaches the other side of that male-female spectrum. Because I say this because I watch this with my daughters in theaters, right? And seeing my daughter's reaction to those things about her getting back up.
It's one of the best things you can see if you have a daughter and you're sitting there watching them. Yeah. It's one of the coolest things you can see them having that feeling. I can do this.
Exactly.
I'm on the same level as everybody else.
Exactly. And that to me, I didn't feel like that was I don't think it was shoved in my face that, men are bad, women are better, this is blah, 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 blah. I felt like this is an empowering moment for not just little girls, but for everybody, because there was no emphasis on the fact that, she's getting up because she's a girl or she's better because she's a girl. She's getting knocked down by bullies and assholes and she's getting back up.
I think, to me, it's like this. I think of it this way, I guess. If there's a feminist agenda, maybe I'm just blind to it. I don't really care,
Right.
But the thing is, it's like, if you think about all the movies like Rambo and Predator and Apocalypse Now and Godfather and just go and Taxi and or even the X-Men and Logan, and they're all so male dominated all the way back. All of the superhero movies, everything, it's rare to have one. Why do you care that one movie pushes a feminist agenda?
Right, or any movie. I mean, look at you. I mean, if we wanted to sit here, we could pick apart almost any movie that's a popular movie people love, and be like, no, this movie is pushing anti-women ties and putting down women and black people because of these things, and pick it apart.
Yeah.
But it's just.
But you make one movie that empowers women, and all of a sudden it's an agenda, and it's just like, Jesus Christ! If it was an agenda, it would be every movie that came out this year would be women forward on everything. And it would be like that for, I don't know, the next 80 years, like it's been for men for the last 80 years of cinema history.
Right.
You can't handle a superhero movie being about a woman kicking ass. What's the big fucking deal? I don't understand where it feels, I don't know. I mean, I think some people,
they look for it.
Yeah, they're looking
for something to fight about.
When they're looking for it, I don't know that all of them are misogynistic or racist or anything like that.
No, I don't think that.
I think some people just feel like something's being taken away that was never really there for them, anyways.
Right?
Yeah, and you don't have to. If you don't like the movie, the best thing you can do is not go see it.
Yeah, just don't watch it.
Yeah, if you feel like that's what they have a quote unquote agenda, which I don't think there's an agenda. I think they're just taking a kick-ass character. I think there is validity to say that Captain Marvel has never been a very popular character over
she hasn't been.
Full scale of things, but it's irrelevant. If a movie
she got
producer
popular in the last 10 years, but
in the last like 6 or whatever, but
5 or 6, whatever.
But if a movie producer can go, you know what, I can make this movie and I can make her popular and I can make $1 billion. Guess what they're going to do?
Yeah,
it's irrelevant on the comic book sales or how many people have read it.
Do you know who also wasn't a popular character who had a blockbuster movie? Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man.
He was a fucking joke in the comics, and they made a movie out of it. And they made $1 billion. They make
you know what? I hate to say this, but the Black Panther was never a hugely popular character.
No, he wasn't. He never was. I mean, he was there.
He was there.
He was a background character that was it had his own series that were pretty good sometimes, but he was never a huge hit.
Yep.
And now look at him. Now he has a fantastic movie out. There's a bunch of really good stories coming out for him, and he's a big powerhouse of the MCU.
Yep. So I mean, it goes across the board, and I think people should just I don't know, man. You're watching these comic book movies and you're seeing them in a way that was never possible before with the special effects today. And, they make different timelines and different quote unquote parallel universes throughout the comic books as well, and tell different stories with the same characters. Why can't you just sit back and enjoy what you're seeing?
Right. And you know what? Going back to the agenda thing, maybe there is a small agenda to say, okay, we've had 10 years of making movies.
They deserve it. Fuck off. Yeah, they deserve it.
We have a powerful female. Maybe it's not an agenda, but let's throw some things in there for the other sex, for the female side. That's fine. Whatever. That's not a bad thing. If we had 10 years and dozens of movies that focus on one thing, shifting the gears to something else makes for new things. It's whatever. I don't know.
I guarantee you, because they made Captain Marvel, no one's coming into your job tomorrow. Say you're fired because we got this girl to do your work. I mean, it's just like, what are you so concerned about?
What's funny is like there's people have been review bombing this movie on Rotten Tomatoes since like 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
like trying to sabotage this movie. It's today's not even over yet, and it's already made $455 million.
There you go. See,
it's already made almost half $1 billion.
The wallet is speaking worldwide. Louder than anybody that's pushing a hate agenda. And to me, it feels like when you're going to sit there and pick apart a movie over because you feel that it has some secret agenda it's clearly not there. And even if it is, it's not like a white supremacist group.
Right.
It's trying to raise equality, not push people down. And it's just like the arguments are just moot. You know what I mean? But the thing is you got to watch it because you go and you listen to people, and some of those guys can be very charismatic in their argument because
they're very convincing
because they're so passionate. And you just have to think about what is being said and what is the actual dialogue and what is actually going to happen because of this.
Just as we always say, and I always say, make your own fucking opinion on things.
Yeah, if you don't like it, make your own movie.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I was looking at this here, people like try to hate bomb this movie, but it had a bigger opening than like BVS, Harry Potter, Avengers, both the first Avengers movies.
Which Harry Potter?
Spider-Man 3, Civil War, Half-Blood Prince.
Oh,
it's like right now it's number 6 worldwide opening weekends.
That's awesome.
Like the only things above it are Infinity War, Fate of the Furious, The Force Awakens, Jurassic World, and Harry Potter: Deathly Hallows Part 2. Besides that, it's ahead of every other. There's only one MCU movie that has had a bigger opening weekend than Captain Marvel, and that's Infinity War.
Right. And
so it's like
what next month is Endgame, right?
Yeah, and Endgame's going to smash everything. So
I know, I'm so excited. I don't know, man.
Dude,
I mean, I still hold steady that I wish the writing was better. Okay,
I agree. I wish there was some deeper thoughts.
Yeah, and I don't know if I should blame Brie Larson for the performance. I felt that it was a little flat on her portrayal.
I thought she did. I can see what you're saying with that, but I think she played it the way it should have been played.
I don't know. It just didn't seem like there was a lot of emotion out of it. Like she was running through it, and maybe
you got to remember the character too had been brainwashed for 6 years by the Kree, saying she was. They've been brainwashing her for 6 years.
Yeah,
so
but when everything came flooding back, she was still playing it the same way.
But it was flooding back as fragments. She didn't have her memory back. She had certain pieces of things back.
Maybe.
Been piecing together.
There's something to that. There is something to what you're saying, but at the same time, I just felt like I don't know. It should have been. I don't know. You
just hate women.
Yeah, that's what it is. Are you kidding? I just felt like I don't know. Her performance just seemed flat to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Honestly, I can see it. While I disagree, I can understand why people would see that. Yeah. Not just you, Joe. I get it.
Not that I think anybody else could have done a better job, so to speak. Maybe they could have. I don't know. I've always been a huge fan of hers. I'm not going to stop.
Yeah, she's great. She's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. I'm excited to see her in Endgame. I loved seeing the extra scenes and watching the pager turn off, and then she shows up.
Did you watch the very last scene at the end of the credits?
Yeah, with the cat throwing up.
Yeah, it was kind of whatever, but it was cute.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Watching a cat puke, I don't know if I'd call it cute.
Puking a tesseract, all right, it's still different.
But I mean, I just wanted a little bit more. I think I wanted an extra 30 minutes to be a little bit more deeper in the details. Because I feel like people are ready for that because they've been invested in all the movies, and then this one felt like a rush job.
That actually makes me sorry, I'm going off topic here for half a second here because you said something that made me think of something. Mm-hmm. We should do an episode that is basically talking about the MCU in general and how there will probably never. We are living in a golden age of comic book and storytelling cinema, and there will probably never be another thing like the MCU in our lifetime.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
We should do an episode about that.
Yeah, that's a very good possibility.
Anyways, my final thoughts on the movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I saw it with my daughters, which gave me a little bit of a unique perspective. Well, not unique, but different for me because I saw it with from my own eyes and with their eyes, and also with my boys too.
Yeah.
And all of my kids loved it. My wife thought it was great. Your niece, as everybody knows. I thought it was a lot of fun. I keep thinking about it over and over again, and I have read and watched some of the articles and videos on both sides of the spectrum. People saying it's anti-men, it's a feminist agenda, and people on the other side saying no, it's not. Like I can see both of their points, and like some of the things like the whole is anti-men people were saying. Yeah, I can see why they would think that. Like there's like when they scanned Nick Fury and said human male, no threat. Like, oh, why did they scan the female next to him? It's like, well, I follow you, but I don't agree with you.
I don't care.
I don't care. It's not an agenda.
Personally, I feel like the writers and the director or the producer should come out and say, "Yeah, we have a feminist agenda and we pushed it. Fucking suck an egg.
Fuck it.
Deal with it.
It's there.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like just deal with it. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't think. Why should you care so much about that? And I don't know.
I don't know. what my last thought is, I kind of feel the same way about this movie that I feel about Aquaman now.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was good. I probably won't watch it again unless I'm watching it with my kids.
I don't know. Actually, I'm excited for it to come out on DVD because I kind of want to watch that and Wonder Woman back to back.
See, that brings up a good point. So, Robert from Bridge of the Geekdom asked me today, do I think this is a better movie than Wonder Woman? Right?
No, I didn't think so.
So my answer was this. My answer was, some parts I thought had better parts than Wonder Woman, but overall, Wonder Woman is a better film, even though I hate the ending of Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman is just so much more rich in backstory.
It is. It has that deep thought.
And the writing
except for the final battle.
Yeah, and I just think Gal Gadot
whatever.
Yeah, as Wonder Woman is a once in a lifetime character and actor combination. You don't.
Oh, she is amazing.
Get that very often. You got it with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, even though Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is too big. He's too big.
Well, it's funny. It's like you have the opposite. You have the opposite with Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot is too short for what we would think Wonder Woman would be, and Hugh Jackman is too tall for.
I didn't even think about that with Wonder Woman. I didn't know she's too short. Because to me, she looks like a tall girl.
Yeah, but and like you also, it's similar. You have the same like perfect unison with like Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. You know?
Yeah, you don't get that often. Like when you think of, like for instance, Captain Marvel. There's quite a few actresses that could have played Captain Marvel and been as good or better than Brie Larson, even though she was great. But you know what I mean? After seeing Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, you can't name me one actress that you would rather see in that role.
Nobody.
You can't do
Literally
it.
Nobody.
Literally nobody. It's same with Deadpool. You can't do it. And that does not happen very often. And so to watch Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in the first Wonder Woman movie, I mean, I don't think there's a comparison. Now I want to watch them back to back just because, and then when Birds of Prey come out, then I can watch them all three just
fun.
Because it'd be fun and be like, this is cool to watch them kick ass chicks. You know what I mean?
It'd be fun it'd be fun for us to watch the Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel back to back, whatever, and then come back on and like give thoughts on it because have it fresh in our memory of watching them both.
Yeah, totally. So there you go. I'm
down for that.
I think. Well,
that's a show.
That is a show. Just to cap it, Captain Marvel. You haven't seen it? Go check it out. It is a lot of fun if you have a daughter or two, or you know what? If you have a young man that you should see a strong female lead and realize that these girls can do it too.
It's okay.
It's okay. Go check it out. I think it's a lot of fun. It was really cool in the movie theater. I think that movie is going to be better in the theater than it will be at home.
Well, just because those special effects are just her power effects are so fucking cool.
Yeah, she's really cool looking, especially when she's flying through the atmosphere and stuff.
Yeah, and her mohawk is her mohawk is lit up.
Yeah, I think it was really cool. So there you guys go. We're Sport of the Country. We are heard everywhere podcasts are heard, and we're on all the social medias. If we don't see us on the social media that is your favorite, reach out. Let us know. We'll get on it.
Yeah, and if you want to call us, you can call us at 707-656-2080. Leave a voicemail. Again, 707-656-2080. You can email us at spoilercountry@gmail.com, and you can check out our website at scpod.net.
There you guys go. Don't forget, open the mind.
And read more.
Nice.
We should, at some point, we should talk about our Patreon again. See if we can get more people to support us on that.
Well, you can tell them right now.
Oh, hey, we have a Patreon at patreon.com/spoilercountry, and you can go there and help us do our shit and help us keep going.
Yeah, we're trying to do more stuff. We need more money.
Yeah. We need more money to pay people to do stuff like
That's
this.
right.
So.